Well, today we're going to hit the trail and take a look at the new update for 2020 in the Mountainsmith Tour 9-liter lumbar pack. Well, that is right, folks. Welcome back to another video here at Gideonstactical. I'm Aaron, and we're going to have some fun breaking down this bag. Now, I did several years ago the older version, and that was the larger version, I believe, that they had. This version that we're going to be looking at today is an update that they've done for this year. I think they've really added some cool features that we're going to dive into real quick here. I will be throwing in some competitive options as well at the end of the video, just to show you food for thought, concepts, where does this apply, maybe where doesn't it. But these lumbar bags have really been a staple for Mountainsmith for decades, honestly, and that you basically get a very heavy duty 9-liter fully waist belt and shoulder strap that we'll talk about also bag. You know, it's basically like a super fanny pack. I mean, that's basically what it is, with the ability to carry water bottles, a lot of gear, different capabilities, things like that. So we're going to dive into it today, unpack the whole thing, and see what it has going on. Right out of the gate, obviously, toughness and durability is something that Mountainsmith has kind of been their claim to fame for years. I mean, their logo is an anvil, for crying out loud. So this has some great durability. I'm going to annotate in all the dimensions for you guys on this particular size, as well as the materials. It's basically a form of ripstop as well as other types of nylon that are in 420 denier, and then there's some 210 denier. 420 is perfect, I think, for this style, for what you're going to put through it. It's more heavy duty than those ultralight gear items out there, but it's not overly heavy, again, being all annotated in there below. And it's going to have a load bearing capability of 12 pounds. We'll discuss that a little bit more as we get into the waist belt. And I'll hit price right out of the gate. I spent about $60 on sale at the time, but what I'm seeing now is it's right around $60 to $65 for this 9-liter version. I'll have links for you guys to Amazon, Backcountry, as well as some other links for you guys below. If this design does connect with you by the end of this video, I do appreciate it when you use those hyperlinks that we offer to you below. Helps me to continue just to make content. And if you're enjoying this video, and this video, you know, is something that is valuable to you and you want to see more stuff like this, we do videos every week. I invite you to subscribe, become part of the GT family over here. Now, they have lots of cool color combinations. Now they have a slightly smaller version, and then they even have a larger version, but I think this is the sweet spot because of the price. Again, right now about $60 to $65 is what it seems to be going for. But also the bigger one that I tested before, it's so big that really I think you should just commit to a full-on backpack if you're going to need to carry something with those larger sizes. And then the smaller one, though nice, it basically, the smaller one just can't quite carry some of the medium-sized loads that you could go, you know, 10 miles round trip on a hike, I believe, with this, depending on your water intake and things like that we're going to discuss. So I think this is a really good middle of the road for the sizing that they offer of the 3 sizes, but you can check all of them out and see which one best is suited for you. Now, guys, one thing that I liked right out of the gate is that in the old design, they just had a shock cord that you could kind of run a jacket through, and it was decent, but you never really used it. They've kind of upgraded that now with this little pass-through sleeve, I guess, is what I would call it. They have little attachment points here that you could, you know, run shock cord if you wanted to. On top of that, you could attach lights, carabiners, those type of things, if you were maybe going to jog with it or something like that. Adjustable shock cord to cinch it down or loosen it up, and little hooks right here that you can disconnect, and then it'll just flop right open if you want to get fast access to whatever you would be putting here. So you could easily stuff like a raincoat, even a medium-sized hoodie or something like that through there, and it would easily be able to hold that for miles and miles. The other thing that they added is this little zipper in this little compartment right here. You could easily throw a couple granola bars, your keys, phone, whatever, if you wanted to get something nice and accessible. So that's nice that they didn't just throw a piece of, you know, nylon on here and call it good, that they even gave you a little extra stuff outer pocket there to quickly access certain gear items. YKK zippers throughout this whole thing. And next up, since we're here, behind that flap, when you disengage it, and you can easily access it with it always engaged as well, you have one very large YKK zipper folded over, you know, just kind of help fight against the rain and stuff. High vis yellow with a big pocket in here, and a key keeper. So you could easily throw all of your essentials in there, your keys, or even other things to spare. Now, the concept of it being just a big dump pocket is okay, but I think this would be the spot. It would have been great if they had just had on the back panel there a few dividers, say for like a wallet, so that it just kind of is more secure there, or your cell phone, and then maybe like 2 pens and a, you know, pen size flashlight, you know, or something like that. I think would have been a really big plus. It's fine the way it is, but if you are going to throw it over your shoulder, like a messenger bag, like we'll talk about in a little bit, that would have been nice to have that little feature, so you could put some pens or stylists, you know, to, you know, use technology, those type of things. I think would have been a nice little touch. Then at the top here, we'll look at the other main compartment here. 2 huge YKK zippers that will fold over, you know, just kind of, again, dust and water material, that type of stuff. So what we have is another high-vis, huge dump pocket. They do have this little flap pocket with a zipper. So this, again, you could put easily a phone, wallet, things like that, snacks in that top pocket. Then you got that big, large dump pocket right there. Easily you could get, you know, what I was carrying when I was doing my hiking and things like that was a little mini medical kit, a little mini survival kit with, you know, like a multi-tool, fire steel, emergency blanket, you know, a few bum wipes, you know, that type of stuff, just in case, just the bare essentials, and easily throw like a little case for some GoPro, you know, added features and accessories, and my GoPro in there, and, you know, a smaller camera would easily fit in there. So you could easily have the food for the hike. You could easily carry medical supplies, survival kit supplies, you know, a little Mora or something like that, and in that main pocket there. And the nice thing is that we have this really thick, it feels like a dive suit neoprene right in here, probably is what the material is, and then and that's a divider, and then another pocket sleeve here with a very large port, so that you could easily do a compact water bladder, and we'll discuss that a little bit later in the competitive options. So if there are, and I believe there are some brands out there that are producing aftermarket kind of like horizontal for fanny pack, waist pack water bladders, you could easily run that through there, or run like headphones if anyone still is, you know, doing wired headphones or things like that. And the nice thing is, again, if you're carrying this more as like a messenger bag, easily be able to fit a full-size iPad. I have my iPad Pro, easily will fit inside there because of the dimensions, you know, a few books, so most tablets, a little, you know, pop-out keyboard, things like that. So this would definitely, depending on what your requirements are for work, could be a great little, you know, carrier to the office type of bag. Now the nice thing is that this will come with some nice compression straps and compression throughout the whole bag. These are 2 on the bottom, definitely have some extra room to spare there. So you can cinch this down pretty slim if you don't have a lot of gear that you're carrying, or definitely expand it out if that's something that you do want to do, and still give you enough room that you could run another jacket. So maybe your child's jacket, if you're going with your child, or, you know, your partner or something like that, you could throw that. Then you're going to have compression on the side as well, that you'll be able to, if I can show you guys, cinch down up here, right below the zipper and right above the water bottle pocket. That's going to be on both sides, and then you do have compression straps as well that are going to go to the belt. So that's going to get the bag onto your lumbar and onto the belt, and kind of compress that together, so it's not, you know, flopping and bouncing off of your body. Now, one thing a lot of these lumbar fanny packs, you know, whatever you want to call them, don't have are water bottle pockets. This has a really good reinforced bottom and sides, and then mesh to just cut down on some weight. Water bottle pouches on either side. They're completely ambidextrous. You could cinch one down if you want to, keep it nice and slim, or if you're just not, you're doing the bladder maybe, or, you know, whatever. So a 32-ounce Nalgene will be basically flush with the top, or even lower slightly. So that's awesome. It easily fit in there with that shock cord, being able to kind of tighten it down. But what I have found with my trekking and experience is that if you are going to do bottles, it's better to try and go with maybe 20 or 24-ounce water bottles, just to offset the load a little bit. When you start putting other gear items in here, particularly if you're doing like a little med kit, survival kit, maybe some camera equipment, the snacks, a jacket, and then you start doing, you know, 64 ounces of water balanced on either end, and as you're drinking one and then the other, it's just going to kind of cause some goofiness with the balance over time that I've found. So it's better to just kind of cut down on the water altogether, and maybe take like 40 or 48 ounces and balance that between 2 water bottles. Or again, the best way would be having that bladder inside. That'll be the best balance point for the bag, just so it's not kind of, you know, riding on one hip a little bit more than the other. And because it's on your hips, you'll be able to kind of feel it a little bit more than when it's on your shoulder necessarily with like a backpack. So just something to consider there. Think about your balancing and what size water bottles would be best when you are, using this backpack, but it's our, excuse me, lumbar bag, but it is awesome that it can easily handle Nalgene bottles without an issue. So the last compartment on the main body is this kind of stuff sleeve compartment, again, that you could slide, just quick access things that maybe like the map at the trailhead, you know, or something like that. You could stuff in there a few documents, something like that. There's no pocket to zip up or anything, it's just a stuff area, or you could throw like the shoulder strap in there if you wanted to. So it's just a compartment that's going to be up against your lumbar, so just keep that in consideration. That's where that will fit right there, and that leads us right into the waist belt itself. It's got to be able to carry the load well, right? Well, I believe that it does that nicely. It's not overly thick. I mean, I would have liked to maybe see it just even a little beefier. You know, it's moldable, formable. Probably would have handled the weight slightly better if it was just more rigid. I mean, it does about 6 pounds fine. The max weight is what this is rated for, is 12. I would say that that's really pushing it. And if you're going to go, if you think your loads are like 10 to 12 pounds, it's better to just go with a bad pack, in my opinion, unless there's something very, like, you know, your shoulders like totally thrown out or something, you just can't carry weight on your shoulders anymore with backpacks, then I get it. But it's more, in my opinion, suited for like under 10 would for the way it is designed. Nice breathable mesh there. You're gonna get a huge belt right there that with those Woojin clips, which are very tough, durable clips. So that's going to be very easy. It's got, you know, little keepers to keep it so you don't have all this nylon flopping around, pull towards you, tightening, so you get that optimal cinching down. So it's great. It's going to carry the load well for what it's intended for, which is, again, lightweight, quick, fast hiking. If you're going to be carrying lots of equipment, or you have a lot of weight in your packs and you're going, you know, 15, 20 miles, then, you know, maybe this isn't the best option for you unless you can just do it those type of miles super light. What I feel like this is optimal for, and why I bought it, is so that I can just go with my son. You know, we can hit a trail that's maybe 3, 4 miles, 5 miles round trip, pretty chill, close to town, foothills, you know, that type of stuff. I can just have some bare essentials in here, hit it really quick. I don't have to sweat out my whole back and, you know, have all this stuff and constantly taking it on and off to get things for him, particularly when I'm going with my son, who's, you know, about 4. So that's really why I purchased this. It was for that intended purpose of light, quick, easy hikes that aren't super intense. Some of you may love them, and, you know, you'll trek the Rocky Mountains and do 30 miles a day with this pack. I don't carry it that way. I would need something more sustainable for heavier loads. Now, one other little side note, they do have the little attachment points, and from everything I can see here with the shoulder strap clips that we'll hit in just a moment, this does still have the ability to be used with their yoke system. So this works kind of like suspenders, and I believe that's actually even what they call it, to help better carry the load. I have tested that with the older version. It does carry the load better. I would argue that if you're going to invest all that money, why not just get a backpack? So it's fine, and maybe, again, if there's just some reason that you want this style of bag lower on your body, on the weight more on your hips, and you still want some extra support, there is that option. You can take a look into that, and I'll even try to put in the old version so you could see those suspenders and just how they operate. But I mean, they do function, to my knowledge, and from what I'm seeing here, that has the exact same lashing points. You could use those on this type of bag if you wanted to help carry the load better. So as I alluded to a little bit earlier, we're going to have those Woojin, I believe is how you pronounce those, really good quality clips that will attach to a very large shoulder strap. The shoulder strap has some nice breathability and padding. It's fully adjustable. It's very large, so it'll fit larger body types. And again, you can obviously quick release it, tuck it away, store it, whatever you would want to do. And you can then tuck the waist belt behind the backer right here, like I have, and it basically becomes like a messenger bag, a shoulder bag. So you can easily go from the trail to town and carry your essentials. Obviously, again, it's not going to carry, say, a computer, but it'd be easily able to handle larger tablets and other gear items that you may want to do. And it easily can just be put on your shoulder or thrown over your opposite shoulder and, you know, travel around town, go to the office, back and forth, you know, that type of stuff. Particularly those of you who maybe live in mountain towns, you know, I think this might be a great hybrid. crossover bag, so you don't have to invest in another messenger bag necessarily to take your stuff into the office or the shop or whatever it is that you might be doing. So that's a cool feature that they're continuing along with this new update. And you'll get these dueling grab handles sewn in really well that you could just move it from here to there. So that's just another good feature that they've thrown in there. So there will be 2 pockets on the waist belt as well. One has, again, a YKK zipper, very large. Now, this can accommodate my iPhone 8 Plus just barely, and it wouldn't be super contouring, because this is where all the turning around my hips and contouring my hips are, so it wouldn't be fun to carry my phone there, but it does fit that and easily could handle several granola bars, snack bars, your wallet, or if you just have a smaller phone. Then we just have a little stuff mesh pocket here for quick access food stuff. Now we'll hit some competitive options. The first one is the really bare bones one, but I love this bag. It's the Mystery Ranch Hip Monkey. Now it's just a really well built kind of bare bones fanny pack, just to give you some perspective there. It's definitely smaller, won't have any water bottle pockets, but maybe this is just kind of so many bells and whistles and so much attachments and weight, and just it will just be the added cost. This usually will go for like 45 to 50 bucks, just kind of depends on who, what, when, where, why. Has really good coated zippers, and what you're going to get is just your basic large belt, nice foam backer, little handle here. You could carry this absolutely as a little sling bag. I have done that. It's going to give you 2 compression straps. Now I have a Nalgene canteen, 34-ounce canteen, and it does have enough room in there with another little zipper back pocket that I could easily get that little med kit and survival kit I was talking about in there. So and still have the front stash pocket with the key keeper. Now again, bare bones, very simple and simplistic, but it could save you 15 to 20 bucks. And if this is really all that you're looking for, and you still want to rather invest in the backpack for the heavy duty stuff, and then this just for the quick treks, out and back a few miles, just to get out there and just have enough water and a couple little supplies with you and a snack, then this might be the ticket. Now this Dakine Hot Lap is a whole nother matter. This thing is really interesting, and I believe that's the name of the Hot Lap. I'll be annotating it all in. It will run you about $65 to $75, so it's pretty similar in price to what the Mountainsmith is, but again, just to kind of give you perspective there, still smaller, but what you're going to be getting is, you got a few lashing points, you got compression straps on the bottom so you can cinch it down if you want, open it up so you can easily get like a raincoat, something like that underneath there. It's really designed for cycling, and that's actually why I bought it, because I'm getting back into riding my Yeti this year, now that we're kind of done having babies and trying to be a parent and run YouTube and do all my other stuff. High-vis orange, you got key keepers, zipper pockets, more organization, a little elastic bands. This would have been nice in that compartment I was talking about where the key keeper is on the Mountainsmith. It would have been nice to have just a couple of these, but it has lots of organization. I could get my wallet, my cell phone, my keys, and a few tools, or a flashlight and like a multi-tool, something like that easily will fit in there. What's really cool, and this will have YKK zippers as well, is that it comes with a Hydra pack designed for fanny packs or lumbar packs bladder. It comes with that will hold 70 ounces. So we're talking about 70 ounces of water in this guy. It comes with the hose, wraps around, has even a little magnet there so that you can pull off, drink, put it back into place. If you want minimal, but you want a lot of access to water, this might be the option. So, that might be a great option. I've jogged with it and it worked great. It wasn't floppy, and like an issue. And for mountain biking, doing medium to short mountain bike trips, it's phenomenal. It works really, really well. I love it a lot. And just what are you really looking for? And to kind of wrap this all up for us, I think the layout is a great update. I think they've definitely fine-tuned a few things that I really connect with, particularly that exterior kind of like pouch, that can completely come down to hold your jackets and things. And just the layout, works really well. It will be able to probably be the highest capacity and best load-bearing capability of any lumbar pack I've seen and that I've tested, and I've tested the other one originally as well, and that's why I paid my money to throw it down and buy it, and then give you guys this comprehensive review. So for me, again, it really comes down to how do you like enjoying the outdoors, and are you looking for something that's maybe cross compatible, you can carry as a shoulder bag in town really nicely, and then hit a trail and get a pretty decent trail in in several hours, definitely more than I feel like I would trust my Mystery Ranch. And I can have more capability than even the Dakine has. I can go further. I feel like I can go the furthest on a lumbar pack, but is that really what you need, or is it better just to stick with a backpack at that point? That's what you're going to have to determine for yourself. I think it has the potential to absolutely do that, and I absolutely love the crossover capability, and it's just really laid out well. So I appreciate you guys coming over today. Check out the other video popping up. Subscribe again if you're not a current subscriber. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook, throwing up stuff there all the time. And asking questions. Maybe if I missed something, love to answer any of the questions that I can for you guys in the comments below. And never forget that you're not alone. And always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.